Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nadira Shifa Azharo, and today I'm going to tell about story Uwais al-Qarni. Uwais al-Qarni lived in Yemen during the Prophet Muhammad's lifetime. May God mercy and blessing be upon him. He converted to Islam at the hands of a few of Prophet Muhammad's companions. He is not regarded as a companion, but rather a member of the next generation or those who followed. The best age are those who accompanied Prophet Muhammad and follow him. It refers to Muslims who learned Islam from Prophet Muhammad or his companions. According to Prophet Muhammad, some people in this country are dissolved, lack money and social status, but if they swear an oath to God, God will indeed honor that oath. There are many fables and unverified stories associated with Uwais al-Qarni. Still, some authenticate stories, trends, or faith and inspire us to act more like this simple man of low social status. Okay. Firstly, Uwais was born in Yemen and lost his father when he was a child. As a result, he had to look after his mother. He had leprosy as well, but was prayed to God for healing with a sincere heart and sincere supplication. Only a coin-sized piece of disfigured skin on his shoulder remained after God healed him. Wise was reminded of God's favor every time he looked at this small patch. He continued to care for his mother, and when she became blind, she became even more reliant on him. When the Muslims arrived in Yemen, Wise was taught a valuable lesson. Wise and his mother had no lights in the house one very dark night, making it challenging to more complete their evening course. Wise was blind, but his mother was used to being in the dark, assisted her son in getting around the house. Soon after, Wise met the Prophet Muhammad's ambassadors and listened to them recite the Quran. He found a verse from the chapter of the light that spoke to him. Wise immediately accepted Islam. Wise and the Prophet never met because Wise was caring for his mother in Yemen. Despite his, Prophet Muhammad told a group of his companions about Wise al-Qarni. Prophet Muhammad told his companion that a man from Yemen would come to them. He is from Murad and the Quran tribe. The Prophet went on to say to them about leprosy and conclude his description of Wise by saying, and he has a mother who he treats extremely well and to whom he is obedient. He went on to say that if Wise al-Qarni swears an oath to God, God will undoubtedly honor it. If you happen to run into him, ask him to forgive you. Umar ibn al-Khattab never forgot this advice, and when he became a Muslim leader, he would go out every year to greet pilgrims arriving from Yemen. Umar would ask, is Uwais al-Qarni among you? This is continued for 10 years, and finally the people from Yemen said yes and point him out to Umar. Umar went straight to Wise al-Qarni to determine if he was a man the Prophet Muhammad described. He asked, are you Wise al-Qarni? He said, yes. Umar continued, from Murad and the tribe of Quran? He said, yes. Umar then asked, were you once afflicted with leprosy and your skin healed except for an area on your shoulder the size of a coin? Wise said, yes. Umar finally asked, do you have a mother that you respect, honor, and take care of? He said, yes. And respect, honor, and take off? He said, yes. Uh, Umar went on to say that Prophet Muhammad advised him to ask Wise to seek God's forgiveness of his behalf. Wise was taken aback and reminded Umar that was a companion of the Prophet Muhammad and the Muslim leader too. Why is it that you ask God to forgive you? Umar was undeterred, and Umar always was prayed to God to forgive all sins. Umar ibn Khattab. Umar was pleased and wanted to assist Uwais in any way he could. Uwais was in his way to Kufa, Iraq, after the pilgrim. Umar offered to write a letter of introduction to Iraq governor, but Uwais declined. To remaining anonymous among the believers, he was a straightforward man with exact requirements. He asked Umar not to tell people about his unique link to the Prophet Muhammad SAW if they might disrupt his pilgrims. About his pilgrimage. Many legends and stories about Uwais have yet to be verified, but all of them emphasize his humility and simple way of life. When we read the story of Uwais, we have to wonder how the heroes to such a thing position told even his companions were advised to seek forgiveness from him. To his mother, he was obedient. He also had a chronic illness that significantly impacted his life, but he was patient. In short, he possessed a character that every believer should aspire to. And also, West Al-Qarni demonstrates that even if one is not one of Prophet Muhammad's companions, one can have a deep love for God and His Prophet. Always earned the praise of Prophet Muhammad SAW and one of his most excellent companions, Umar ibn al-Khattab. That's all. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.